Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Kansas City's Global Community Radio Show, KUAW. You're tuned in to Jessica Lynn Speaks Life, and I am so excited to be here to share this beautiful moment in time, this historic moment in time with my girl, Miss Megan Marshall. Yay! Say hey to the people, Megan.
Hey, everybody. Hello, hey. Jessica.
Hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Listen, I just want to let you know that you're tuned in for an hour of inspiration. All right. And so stick with us. I want to give some announcements that what we've got going on with Giving Hope and Help. Giving Hope and Help is a nonprofit organization that supports domestic violence survivors, and supports the shelters in which they live in, as well as ends period poverty in domestic violence shelters across the country and globe, as well as in girls organizations, women's organizations, menstruators. Wherever there's a woman, there's a flow. Wherever there's a menstruator, there's a flow. And we want to ensure that you all have the necessary items of dignity. So that's one of the things we do. And the other thing is our Love Bags for Cancer support program, which will be coming up again in Mother's Day. So stay tuned for that. Right now, we are in the trenches trying to get this word out about our Education is Your Passport Scholarship Program. Tune in to our website, givinghopeandhelp.org. We have money to give away. We have money to give away. We have a full ride scholarship to Penn Valley for a single parent. That's a single parent, male or female, that's never been to college, as well as a high school student. We have over $2,000 computers. We've got cash. We've got HBCU scholarship. We have legacy scholarships of $1,000. We have money to give away, okay, to those deserving scholars. Go to givinghopeandhelp.org, givinghopeandhelp.org, and be sure to pass this information along. So, Miss Megan, thank you so much for being my guest today. Your yes has already blessed my life, and I am excited. Megan Marshall, for those of us or those of them or they that do not know you, I would love for you to share a little bit about yourself. Tell us who you are, and then we'll just take it from there.
Okay. Well, I would like to tell you, Miss Jessica, that I am so blessed and honored to just have this opportunity. And, you know, when you ask me to do anything, yes is always the answer. From the time I've met you and we met, you've always been an inspiration to me with your efforts and just how you are just, you know, get out there and get in the trenches and do the work. I so admire that about you. And I'm just blessed to be in your company and to call you a friend. So thank you for
thank you.
Yes. So yes, a little bit about me for those or they that don't know. I am just a girl from the South Side of Chicago. I grew up in a home. My parents were not married. My father was is a Vietnam veteran. He's Purple Heart recipient. So I grew up, in that kind of environment. Anybody who knows anything about Vietnam veterans and their struggles. So I grew up in that household. He's also a Baptist preacher, so add that to that. My mother, she was a postal worker as well. She had her own struggles in life. She passed away in 2012. And at the age of 17, I was always that young lady or teenager who, whenever the rules were defined or kind of the parameters of what I was allowed to do were defined, I always kind of skirted the lines. I kind of wanted to push the envelope a little bit. And I just always had the mindset of, anyone who would always tell me what I can't do. It was always my mission to show them that I was going to do whatever it was I was going to do. So dare me if you want to. Was kind of my attitude as a young lady. And still is today. It
I
still
was
is.
about to say still is. I love it.
So at the age of 17, I enlisted in the Marine Corps, really as my ticket to just kind of get away of the challenges in my childhood and just make my mark on the world and leave things better than what I found it. And so, 20 years in the Marine Corps, certainly I had the honor to leave marks in people's lives as people left in my lives that I came encountered with. And then so that just kind of propelled me and just really just launched me forward to continue my service after the military, being elected to the school board, and now my new venture, my new opportunity that I am striving to do.
Wow, and what might that be?
Well, right now I am a candidate.
Recording in progress.
Right now I am a candidate for the Jackson County Legislature. I'm running 3rd District at large. So anybody that lives in Jackson County, my name will appear on their ballot. It will actually be the first name because I was the first to sign up. That's my new venture. The election is August the 2nd.
August the 2nd. So that's coming up soon. And I certainly commend you for your service and thank you for your service. Wow, your testimony of joining the Marine Corps at 17 years old speaks volume to me. It speaks volume to me because you have eluded that you were kind of a hard-headed teenager, and went ahead and enlisted in the service. Now, did you get that idea from your dad being in the service, or where did that idea come from?
Why do you ask that? Well, me, like I said, kind of, being in the mindset of tell me what I'm not going to do. And when I watch, I'm going to show you. My father was in the Army. My grandfather was in the Army as well. My grandfather served in World War II. And my older brother was also in the Army. So when it came time for me to make my decision after high school, I knew I just wasn't that person who was cut out for college right away. That just kind of wasn't, I just couldn't. I wanted to get out in the world. I wanted to go do stuff. So the military I saw was my only ticket to get out of my environment and to have a career. But because my brother and father joined the Army, I had to do one better than them. I had something to prove, and mostly because when I signed up and I enlisted, people came out in droves and said, "You're not gonna make it. There's no way you'll make it in that environment." So that really fueled me to go ahead and show them that not only am I gonna make it, but I'm gonna stay in for a lot longer than anybody had in my family. So it was a bit of a healthy competition that I kind of started with my family.
And what do they have to say now?
They don't say much.
Look, it's like when you're down, when you're the underdog and you come out on top, you shut them up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They're very proud. My dad, if you see him, you know who he is because he has my daughter is a Marine t-shirt, hat, all of that. I mean, he's very proud. He's very
forgot
proud.
about that Army, huh? He's like,
yeah.
Marine. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I love that. I think that is amazing. And you are certainly an inspiration to me and so many other women and young girls. And I would ask that if you're tuned in or if you have an opportunity to listen to this, please share it with young girls. Please share it with young girls. And please keep in mind that even though they may be going wayward in your opinion, or maybe a hot pocket or doing whatever they want to do, there is yet hope for them. That spike is for purpose. Wasn't that right, Megan? Your spike was for purpose. Was. She challenged disciplinary, when she was disciplined, I'm sure you challenged those disciplines. And that is what made her survive and be such a decorated. Tell us a little bit about your decorations, if you will, in the service, some of your accomplishments. I always say decorated officer. I don't know if that's politically correct. Is that correct? Help me.
It is politically correct. I would say my accomplishment that I'm most proud of is that I made it. I made it through 20 years. You know, when I joined as a young girl, 17, like I said, and when went away, about a year or two later, you know, I got married, you know, had a daughter. And so enter in, you know, the normal challenges or you know, the everyday challenges of just trying to be a wife and a mother, and realizing very quickly as a young woman, as a young girl, you know, I was 18, 19 years old, you know, with a baby, and then, you know, discovering that, you know, the person I loved didn't love me back, you know, so, you know, going through that time in my life and just being a survivor of domestic violence with a young child. And I know a lot of people, and I tell a lot of young girls that I mentor now, and that I mentored also in my later years in the Marine Corps, that, you know, you look at someone like me and you're like, oh, she's so strong, she's a Marine, or, you know, she can do this and do that. So having that perception of someone like me and knowing what it's like to be in an environment where you're just trying to survive, and then also trying to be in an environment where you're trying to succeed as well, you know, in your career. So, you know, my number one accomplishment is that I made it. I had wonderful mentors around me, men and women, older women who saw something in me that I didn't see at that young age, and they poured into me. So, you know, as I made my way through my challenges and kind of, you know, define for myself what my expectations were and what I wanted and what my path was going to be, I started to pour into other young girls that came up under me. So, you know, and of course, pouring into my daughters too. But girl, I made it. I made it.
Never would have made it.
Yeah.
Amen. I was listening to that this morning, and I just know that I, with you, Miss Megan, never would have made it without you, meaning God.
That's right. That's right.
Wow, in three person. God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Right.
And so I'm just so proud of you. I'm just so proud that your journey has led you here on this radio show, March the 22nd, 2022. And one of the things that I want to let people know is, regardless of where you are right now in this moment, you can't see far ahead enough to what God can see. And so all you have to do is keep looking forward, and you're going to run into it. Keep walking forward, keep looking forward, forgetting whatever's behind you, and keep going forward. This young lady just told me that she did 20 years in the service. She don't even look 20.
Girl, I feel it.
A little bit older, but not much at all. And so you're just an inspiration. And so I do want to share a little bit about you breaking and making, breaking the glass ceiling in Lee Summit, Missouri. You know, I used to be a Lee Summit, Missouri resident and a mother in the Lee Summit School District. My children graduated from Lee Summit West. One just snuck in on me from out of town. And so I'm just like, I didn't know he was coming in today, but I was a Lee Summit West mother for 8 consecutive years. Lee Summit West parent, I should say. Lee Summit West high school parent for 8 consecutive years. So when my daughter graduated, my son came in the next year. So I just couldn't believe that last parent teacher conference in 2018, and it has been over ever since. It's just but a minute. But I think the representation that you are now holding in the district is amazing as the first Black. And I'll let you finish that up.
Well, it is amazing. And I would be, you know, remiss if I didn't say I'm proud of myself for, you know, because far too often we don't take time to give ourselves accolades. You know, we hit one goal and we just push right through. So I'm proud of myself. I am overwhelmed by the support in the community that I have, and really across people who didn't even live in the LSR 7 area. You know, I got phone calls on election day from, you know, women who were like, your name's not on my my ballot. I'm like, well, ma'am, you live in Kansas City, you know, but
Look, they looking for your name, honey. Look, I love it.
So yeah, that was very important for me, and it just added to my journey, you know, because much like in the Marine Corps, I was that one of one. You know, I represented just by nature of being a woman and being a Black woman, and at the ranks that I held, a fraction of a percentage of Black women achieved that rank. So we affectionately call each other unicorns, because you never really see that many of us around, because it's just a rarity. But taking that experience now into the school board and into the public service arena, and being, you know, a Black person in a predominantly white environment, it comes with its own set of challenges, with your challenges of, you know, you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You know, you feel like you have to be perfect in that environment. And you know, and at the end of the day, you just want people to judge you by your success, you know, and nothing. Just judge you by your success. You know, but I think that just adds value to my journey, and it adds value to what I can pour into other women, other, you know, men along that same journey, and other, you know, children, especially, who now see somebody that looks like them in an environment that they've never seen before. And it gives hope to those children. So it is imperative to me that while I have that opportunity, and while I have this position, and any position in the future that God, you know, puts in my path, that I do it, you know, with all my might, you know, like the scripture said, whatever you find your hands to do it with all your might. And so that is, even on my darkest days, you know, I have to remind myself of who I'm working for. You know, it's not about Megan. It's not about me. It's about, you know, the children that I'm working for, and those that I hope to inspire and encourage to, you know, make their mark on the world. So I'm excited. I mean, every day I go into, you know, a meeting or whatever. I mean, I'm just excited to be there, but I'm also excited to do the work, and I'm not afraid to do the work.
That's clear. No one retires from the Marine Corps after 20 years being afraid. So you are definitely not afraid, and you're up for the challenge. And I'm just excited about just everything that you have done already. You know, I was thinking as you were speaking about the school board, this journey that you're on now to be elected for the Jackson County Legislature, 3rd District at large, it's just a natural progression from your starting point. So I'm going somewhere.
Okay, let's go.
So this is a natural progression, right? School board, Jackson County Legislature, 3rd District at large, you know, City Council, I don't know, Senate, Senator. Kamala Harris said that she was the first but not the last. Okay. So I'm just saying, you know, there is no limit.
Yes.
There is no limit, and it may be in something totally different than this.
Right.
Like I was just saying, that if we just keep going forward.
Yes, keep moving.
God has doors to open for us that no man can shut. Doors that we can't even imagine they're going to be opened in our near future. There can be a door open tomorrow that we're just like blown away, right?
That's right.
So just keeping an open mind to our listeners and listening to your story. 17 years old, the timeline, you know, 17 years old, getting married, having a child, 18, 19, going through domestic violence. You are a survivor in so many areas, you know, surviving the training that you had to go through, and then surviving, you know, I knew, honey, I knew as a 7th grader that the service was not for me.
Okay.
I already knew in 7th grade when I saw those kids with the ROTC outfits on and marching. I said, "Oh no, that ain't mine. I can't do it. I can't do all them exercises. I hated PE." Okay.
Oh man, I tried to take it twice in high school.
Oh my gosh, girl, I did not like me some PE. No, but I loved my PE teacher who recently passed. Shout out to Coach Spees and basketball coach. Love my PE teacher. And so I did not play basketball, but I was a twirlette. I was a majorette. So
Okay.
majorette, and then I was in the
I was
drill
a flag
team.
girl.
You were the flag girl, okay.
Yes.
And so I was in the drill team, St. Stephen's drill team in Kansas City. We would compete at Southeast High School against the Cobras and other drill teams. And then I was the statistician. I was not an athlete, but I knew my stats. So I was the statistician for the boys varsity and junior varsity basketball team. So I was the queen. I wasn't the homecoming queen. I wasn't trying to do all of that stuff. And so it's hard for me now to remain consistent on that treadmill.
That's okay.
Help me, sis. Help me.
I got you.
So I commend you for all of those reasons, just getting through and I know it's mind over matter, but getting through all of the training and just going in with the idea that I'm going to prove them wrong. And so oftentimes with us women,
absolutely,
and with African Americans and people of color, we have something to prove.
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate sometimes, but we have to prove ourselves. And you have shown that in an exemplary fashion. And I am just, I'm blown away. I'm blown away, and I'm excited to support you. So please, let's talk a little bit about how people can support you. Where can they learn more information about your campaign, and how they can get involved, volunteer?
Okay. Well, the first thing that they can do, I am on social media. It's Megan Marshall. I think I've got a little bit of popularity now to where you can just put my name in and you find me. Mm-hmm. My website is Megan43, so it's Megan FOR and the number 3 spelled out.com. And you can call me 816-200-1310. I would love for as many people to get involved, volunteer, and help, because as mighty and strong as I like to, as I know I am, I need help, because this is not all about me. I really believe, much like you said, with just the order of my path, I've been prepared for such a time as this. Growing up in a household, like I said, my father is a Vietnam veteran. And anybody that knows anything about service members from that era, they came back totally different. So growing up in a household with a father who struggled with mental health, and who struggled to, introduce himself back into society. So living through that, my mother, like I said, a postal worker, she struggled with alcohol abuse and drug use. So, and of course, when you have those type of challenges, mental health comes along with that as well. So being a young girl in that environment, and my parents did the best they could, to raise me with what they had. My dad struggled tremendously with mental health that I didn't understand back then what it was. And we have a great relationship to this day. I have been able to get to the point to where I have forgiven him for, whether it was things I didn't agree with, because I realized he did the best he could at the time and space where he was at. And he always fought, when I sit back and think about it, he always fought to be in my life, to be a part of it in any way that he could. I remember him showing up at elementary school when I was like in 2nd and 3rd grade. He'd show up just to have lunch with me. When I got older when I left to the Marine Corps, I used to write him letters, right? And then more recently, when he came to visit me, he brought me a box, right, Jessica, of all the letters that I would send him, right? So
did you cry? I would have been
girl, I'm about to cry now. They're still in the box, because I know every time I open it and look through it, it reminds me how important men are, fathers are, right? And even though, they're not perfect, and I say all this too to say, to the women listening and watching, how important, I know this is gonna be hard, but just walk with me, how important it is for the men in our lives, whether it's the father of our children, our fathers, whatever, to give them grace. They're all going through something, just as we are. But when I looked at my father through a different set of eyes, understanding that he did the best he could, I mean, our relationship just opened up. So I would ask, that any woman who's struggling in that area, just extend a bit of grace. And I know it's hard because a lot of our pain and challenges come from the hand of a man. But if we are going to move forward together, we have to extend grace, because my daddy fought like hell to be in my life, and thank God he did. So just going through that as a young girl, and now on the other end of that and ready to move forward, I have those unique experiences. I've been prepared in certain areas where now when I talk to other young girls who don't really know what they want to do, or other women, when I was in the Marine Corps, I spent some time in Central America, and talking to women there who were, victims of human trafficking, who got involved with drug cartels and all those types of things, and just mentoring them on just how everything is for a reason, and how you have to know your path, and then, or know where you want to go, and then your path is clear. All of that is what I bring with me, and when we talk about, the next stage in my service with being on the legislature, that's what I bring. Someone who is in those rooms making those decisions and contributing to the conversations that impact women, children, and families that are in all these different situations and all these different dynamic, challenges that they have. I'm there to advocate for them because I've seen it, I've lived it, I've been there, and I know that, there's a way out. And so all of these things, those dark moments, they're for a purpose, and so just reminding every, young girl out there, and every woman out there, reminding them that even on your darkest days, you have to keep moving. You got to keep going. Like you said, the path in front of you, because the way God works, he, his way is like this, it's all, it's curvy. So you just have to, just do what's in front of you. But I also understand that when you're in those environments, you're just trying to survive and you don't know what you need. And so I'm here to break that cycle and help women and families and children just strive for something better and help them along their journey.
Wow, wow, wow. Just wow. I mean, just wow. One of the things that I always say, Megan, is for everything that you have been through, mm-hmm, and for everything that you have survived, is for purpose.
Yes.
It is for purpose. And so if you're tuned in and you are in a situation, because all of us have things that we go through. Yeah. All of us have storms. Either we're in one, we just came out of one, and we're going to take what we learned from the one we just came out of to prepare us to go through the next one.
That's right.
Life is filled with swift transition, but we are equipped. And so with that being said, you are not only equipped, but you are anointed. Mm. You are anointed for this. Yes. For this purpose. And one of the things that I ask all of my guests that say yes, this show was renamed January of 2021 to Jessica Lynn Speaks Life. Prior to that, it was Purpose, Passion, and Power with Jessica Lynn. And I like to ask my guests, and you've mentioned some things that you can answer and re-answer the same thing, but I like to ask specifically, what is your passion? that is directly connected to your purpose that now leads to your power? What is your passion that is directly connected to your purpose that now clearly has led to your power? Can you share a little bit about your purpose, passion, and power, Miss Megan?
Ooh, we might need another hour, Jessica.
Well, we got 28 minutes.
But you got stats, so can we do overtime into this?
Yes.
But I would say my passion is seeing other people succeed. You know, it's like that motto, you know, when you win, I win. You know, so and I take that into every arena that I'm in. Always leave something better than what you found. Don't be caught sitting idle. Don't be caught not knowing what to do. Pick up something, like my grandmother would say, pick up something, find something to do. So my passion is in that, and also doing what other people say can never be done. You know, when I was running for the school board, you know, people say, oh, there's no way they're gonna elect you out there. There's no way, you know, they'll vote for you. I said, okay, thank you for that. And during that school board race, I knocked personally over 7,000 doors. And so being uniquely equipped, you know, just from, I mean, and I was always I was always kind of the athletic student. Like I said, I loved PE. I joined the Marine Corps, pushing myself to the limit physically. It just kept driving me. You know, whenever the Marine Corps would, you know, they set standards, they raised their standards, right? They had one time, girl, look, 12 years into my career. Okay. I'm more than halfway done. And, you know, they decided that women were going to start doing pull-ups now. And anybody that's familiar with the female anatomy, we are not naturally built with upper body strength. And so I made it my purpose that whatever they decided our minimum was going to do, our maximum was, that was my floor. That was my starting point.
See that.
In this specific instance, you know, they said, oh, well, females just have to do 3. And I was like, okay, you know, I did 20. I wanted to make sure that I had job security for one, because when those physical standards started happening, women and men started dropping like, you know, flies. They started looking for other career paths. And I said, no, I'm gonna get my job security, and this is how I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it. So being uniquely equipped in that way, and kind of just that insane work ethic that, you know, somebody said, oh, well, you crazy. Okay, well, that's fine. But it's just a different mindset when you do things like this. So knocking 7,000 doors, that was, I mean, it was difficult on some days, but I knew that there was a purpose behind knocking on those doors.
But you never knocked the same door twice.
No, ma'am.
So 7,000 doors. I think that is commendable. We need to pause. We need to pause. And I think you've already knocked 5,000 for your new campaign. Am I correct?
Well, I'm a little bit over.
Wow.
That.
Wow.
My goal is for this campaign is to knock 50,000 doors. That is my goal, because I believe that deeply in the work that needs to be done. And when you knock on somebody's door, you know, who tells you they've been living in their home for, you know, 15, 20 plus years, and nobody has ever come to talk to them, to ask them for their support, to ask them for their vote, to advocate for them, that speaks volumes about how much the community wants to be involved. And it also speaks volumes too about the ones who are already in those elected positions, and that connection or lack thereof between them and the community. And I just believe in order to effectively advocate, you got to get out there with the people. You've got to be where they are. You have to know what's important to them, and you got to talk to them. And you, more importantly, have to listen to them. So $50,000 by the August 2nd. That's just my goal. I work smart, but I know that nobody is going to outwork me. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Are you seeking volunteers to help you knock those 50,000 doors by August 2nd?
Absolutely, absolutely. Anybody that wants to help, and I will say this: if there's anyone who knocking doors is not their thing, there are plenty of other things that whatever the strength is in that individual, whether it is knocking doors, whether it's hosting events, or making phone calls, everybody can do something. Writing letters, whatever the strength is and comfortability level, I can put anybody to good use. And I
That
welcome
is
anybody.
wonderful. That is wonderful. Well, I am excited about sharing your desire to become the Jackson County state Jackson County legislator.
Mhm.
And so I have already been pinging my network and letting them know who you are, holding up the card saying, this
That's
is her
right.
name and this is her face. You need to get a card in your life. Go to the website and check it out. The website is Megan, Megan, at megan43.com. Megan at megan43.com. Now, here's another question for you, Megan.
Ma'am.
What does Megan for 3 mean?
Well, 4-3 is third district. Third district.
Megan for 3. That means
Right.
for third district.
So anybody lives in Jackson County, my name will be first on their ballots. So as long as you live in Jackson County, you are in the game.
I wanted to make sure we clarified that, and also tell them why your name is going to be first, because I already know.
Well, yes, because you were there that morning. We saw each other that morning at the announcement.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, I love a good story. Okay, so for those that don't know, when you file to be a candidate, your name and the placement on the ballot is based on the first day of filing is in the order in which you show up. So in order to be first on the ballot, you have to be first to show up. So that evening, when filing open, the evening prior to filing open, I spent the night on the courthouse steps to make sure that that I was first. Now, nothing is without its challenges. That morning, it was beautiful. It was like 60, I think almost 70 degrees it got up to. But girl, look, that night, I got there about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. It was still nice. But when that sun set, rain came out, freezing rain came out. But I was prepared. I had my gear. I had all my stuff. I had my partner with me, and he stuck through it with me. So we had the tools that we needed. Even stuff I didn't know I needed. Walk out of the house, something just said, well, it wasn't something, it was God that was like, grab that. And I needed all of that. So sitting outside that courthouse steps, when it got down to below, under 20 degrees, it was cold, but I wasn't moving. And so that's how and I did the same thing for school board as well, because I believe in what I'm doing. It's not just passive for me. It's not just, oh, well, they open up at 8 o'clock. I'm going to show up at 8 o'clock. No, I'm going to be first. I'm going to be there. I'm going to assess the situation, whatever I need to do, because I care about what is going. If me showing up and being, out in the elements, sleeping out there, or, if I have to do that, because I know no matter what those elements are, I know it's temporary, and so being out there on those courthouse steps that night, it reminded me a lot of the training environments that I've been in for weeks at a time, and Jessica, I know, when you're a woman and you're in those elements, and you got your monthly business going on and all that stuff, you don't have showers, you don't have all those things. It really puts a perspective on what's important, because no matter what, I knew, at the end of that, I was going to a shower, I was going to a home. I knew I was having all of those things on the other side. But there's people in this world who don't. They don't have, after that cold night, they're not going home, to a warm house. They're not going home to a hot shower or a hot meal. So being in those environments and those challenges, being in those elements where you're experiencing that discomfort, it really brings what's important to the forefront. So if I got to sleep outside on the courthouse steps, then that's what I'm going to do. because it's important to me. And I hope that, other, people in the community that, they see that, and they put their trust in me to, vote for me, and allow me to advocate for them.
Wow, wow, wow. I don't know about anybody else, Megan, but I want the person who will sleep in the freezing cold rain to represent me. That's what I want. I want somebody who says, I will go through the storm for my belief system in my people, and upbuilding and fighting for everyone to have the right to pursue happiness.
That's right. That's right.
And that is paramount. And it speaks volume that so many other candidates before you have never knocked on doors, because frankly, they didn't have to. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about we have to go the extra mile. We have to put forth more effort, because Megan Marshall is a woman of color. Her name is just not automatically out there. We have to put your name out there. And by your own leadership, it ignites me, it ignites my network. I sent to so many people in my network what you're doing, and she's wonderful. I absolutely support her. Don't know her, but know her now. A friend of yours is a friend of mine. I mean, that is how we get this thing going. And so I would just ask, if you are tuned in to the show, or if you could share Megan Marshall's goal is to become the Jackson County Legislature for 3rd District at large, and we can help put her in there. I've never heard of another candidate knocking on 7,000 or wanting to even desire 50,000 doors. Have you heard of that, Megan?
Well, by August we will, but no.
But have you heard that from anybody else?
I have not.
And nor have I. And I've been on Earth quite a while. And I've not heard of that. Just to have that goal to knock on 50,000 doors, and you're already over 1/10 done with knocking on those doors. Yes, I have to say that I will knock on some doors in my neighborhood for you, because it is our responsibility as a citizen of this city to support our city and the people that live here, especially as a community leader myself. So I have knocked on many doors in my neighborhood for COVID clinics and, just trying to get people vaccinated. And so this is just as important as that. This is just as important as that. We can come together and change the world with our vote.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Politics has been a primarily white male dominated sport. Black women have not been welcomed on a local level, state level, federal level. Right now we have the first Supreme Court justice being nominated, Justice Jackson, in 2022 in the history of this country.
It's so exciting, but it's so sad.
Yes. No woman has been president, and surely not a Black woman has been president either. And Stacey Abrams, for all of her accomplishments, wasn't able to accomplish governor for a variety of reasons. Even in Missouri alone, there has been no Black person to hold a statewide seat. Think about that. No Black person to win a statewide in Missouri. Now that can be for, two things. Maybe there was never one qualified enough, or maybe there were tremendous barriers in place. And that part has to change.
That has to change. And I do have to shout out to my sister and friend, Senator Barbara Ann Washington.
Oh, yes.
So I do have to shout out for her. And she was one of the first that shared that you were going to be on today. So shout out to my childhood friend, that I never knew would be what she is. And she never knew that I would be doing the community, and we partner together and collaborate and, uplift cancer patients and support education together. And, wow, You never know what is inside of a person. You just don't. So don't judge people. Don't
Mhm.
judge people. Oh, she used to be this way when we was in school. Well, we were kids then. You know what I mean? We
Right.
grow
Yep.
up and we can change the world. I
Mhm.
always say, I'm a change agent.
That's right.
Megan, you're a change agent.
I receive it.
But together we can change this whole world.
You got it. That's
See,
right.
that's what we missing. That's what we
Mhm.
missing.
Right.
Together.
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 Right. That's right.
We can
Together.
change this
Mhm.
whole world. Being a change agent does nothing for me. Absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
But when I can connect with people like you and Senator Barbara Ann Washington
Absolutely.
and Alicia Kennedy, who
Oh yes.
also is a powerful, powerful
Yes.
force to reckon
Yes.
with,
It is. Absolutely.
and has achieved so much. When I can connect with people like you, wow, we can do some things together.
Yes.
And so let's go ahead and take this. Let's take this race.
Let's do it. I am
Let's
ready.
take.
I've got strong women like you and Senator Washington and Alicia Kennedy Brown, that have been huge inspirations to me. So there's nothing that we can't do together.
Together. We
Together.
can do it together. And I would share, maybe politics is not your thing,
Mhm.
but get into the purpose and the passion of the candidate
Mhm.
and support the candidate that aligns with what this community, state, and world needs. We need more Megan Marshalls, period. We need more Megan Marshalls. And your little third or fifth grade girl may
Oh,
be that next person.
that's it. Yeah.
That's it. So avail yourself to the knowledge
Mhm.
of what is available, uh, in the community. We can see what the community needs if you just drive down,
Oh,
my neighborhood in third district. If
yeah.
you drive in my neighborhood, you can see some of the things that the community needs. We cannot do it alone.
That's right.
I don't
It's
have to be a
possible.
politician to call up Megan and say, Megan, this is what's going on. We need you to help us in this area. You don't have to be, the politicians need to hear from community. And so you had shared a little bit about that,
Mhm.
talking to a community, seeing what the community needs. We
That's
need to talk to our community and vice versa.
mhm.
So I'm just excited, Megan, that you have said yes. This is an amazing, amazing journey that you have been on for the last 20 something years. And you have two beautiful daughters yourself.
I do. I do. I love
Tell
them.
us a little bit about your wives.
They're a huge part of my why too. I have, like I said, I have two daughters. One is 19-year-old sophomore in college, and I have an 11-year-old sixth grader that keeps me on my toes. Two polar opposites as far as their personalities and how they go about things, but they're both forces to be reckoned with. And so even though going, in the military, I missed a lot of their life. I added it up one day with all of my training and all the different times I was, away. And altogether, I've missed about 10 years of my children's lives if you add it up all together. But I look at the girls they are now and the young women, and it's just like, wow, they're independent. They know what they want. They're not wavered. They're very, strong-minded, but they're also very compassionate. And that is a balance that, I look at them and I'm like, okay, I did okay. I did okay with them, and I always tell them that, no matter what, just like I tell every other young girl I talk to, you are your competition. Do not let anyone else set your expectations or tell you what you cannot do. It is your purpose in life to know where you're going, and then the path and the way forward is clear at that point. So don't be wavered by others' expectations, because so many times, with our girls, people tell them what they can't be, what they're going to end up doing. I mean, when I was 12, 13 years old, same age as my 6-year-old, just about, I had people telling me that I was going to be 16 with 2 kids.
Why would you want to put that? Why would you want to speak negativity on a beautiful soul?
Absolutely.
Why would you want to speak that on somebody?
because of their low expectations, you know, they have their things to sort out. So pouring that into my daughters and loving on them and letting them know that this world is, you know, it's competitive, you know, and at the end of the day, nobody cares about you but your mama and your daddy. That's it. And, you know, so reaffirming them and giving them that confidence so that when they go out into the world and they enter those rooms as little Black girls, they know I'm supposed to be here. And everybody in here is just as valuable as I am. I am no less than anybody else, and I add value to anybody that I come in contact with. So pouring that into my girls and pouring that into other little girls and other young people that I see, I think is so, so powerful in just changing the mindset, so that they know no matter how dark it gets, because it's going to get, you know, my life wasn't all roses, but it wasn't all bad either, you know, and you just have to keep moving, don't stop, keep moving.
So inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, my honor.
You know, serving equals sacrifice.
It does.
And so you sacrifice 10 years cumulatively, you know, with raising your girls and having, you know, other family members with them at the time that you were out of the country and this, that, and the other for the community.
Yeah.
So my challenge and my question, you know, and I can ask this challenge because I sacrifice every single day of my life, because my mission is I live to give.
Yes.
And that's not everybody's mission. I understand that. But my husband and I were speaking earlier today about giving. And he was saying to live on this earth, take in all of the goodness that you get, survive through all of the storms that you've survived through. How dare you not give to somebody else?
That's right.
How dare you not stop by the hospital and pray for somebody? How dare you not give a phone call and just say, hey, I'm thinking of you? How dare you not buy someone's drink at the store, buy their meal, somebody you don't know? You know, my husband and I, we blessed this couple, two women. They had no idea. They had no idea. And I know they're talking about it to this day because we were at a nice restaurant. Mm-hmm. And we just said hi to them. That's it. That's all we said was hi. And we told the waiter, we're going to take care of their bill today.
Yeah.
And we didn't see their face or anything because we left before they even got their bill. It's not your business.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? It's not your business. Mm-hmm. If this woman, Megan Marshall, can sacrifice 10 years of her life of raising her own children for the community, I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I'm asking you and challenging you to sacrifice something from yourself to give to someone else. It could be simple. Every single day of your life, I challenge you to give to someone, to something. I say it is the rent I pay.
That's right.
Being here.
On this earth.
It is the rent I pay for being here. You know, I cannot even pass a homeless person. When my children were growing up, they mama, are you going to give it to them? And I always operate by the Holy Spirit. I always say, I'm going to give them something if the Holy Spirit tells me to.
That's right.
But if my kids are in the car, it don't matter what the Holy Spirit say, because they're going to be like, mama, you going to give them something. And so, and that's good teaching, right?
Yes, yes.
That's good teaching, but because it's showing your children how to give. And so, Megan, because of the sacrifices that you made, your daughters will be phenomenal mothers. Yes. Even if they don't go into the service, they will sacrifice for their children. Now, we as mothers, we sacrifice naturally.
Yes.
You sacrifice naturally and intentionally.
That's right. Yeah, in order to do that, you have to. That's right.
So don't get it twisted. My challenge is not natural sacrifices. My challenge is intentional sacrifices to make this world a better place, to ensure that the people that you encounter, the people in your network, have the right to pursue happiness.
That's it. The right. It's a right. That's right.
They have the right to pursue education, healthcare,
Yes.
Equality.
Yes, come on now. Yes.
If you see something that's not right,
say something.
If you are operating in the right spirit, they will receive it.
Yes.
When you speak.
That's
you
right.
can't say something in the wrong spirit.
No. And we got to
But
walk
you
by
can
faith.
use your authority. You can use your authority in the right spirit and speak. And you can change the atmosphere.
That's right.
By your sacrifice.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about, I don't know how we got here about giving, but anytime a woman tells me she lost 10 years of raising her children, she has given and she is a giver.
Yes.
And so I commend you for that. We have a hard time. I had a hard time cry for a week when I had to go back to work after maternity leave.
Oh, yes. We can talk about that all. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
And you out of the country with your babies?
There's nothing more tolling on a young mother, 19, 20 years old, than dropping her little 6-week-old baby off at daycare with all these other babies and having to go to work and go training, try to figure out this whole breastfeeding thing and all of those things you just want to do right. And just feeling alone, abandoned, not knowing. I mean, postpartum is real. It is so real. And speaking our truths about that will help break that stigma and help other women and families that are experiencing that. And so I encourage every woman to lean into that. Just speak your truth and watch how many people you can inspire and help. And it's also very, very therapeutic for you too. With mental health, I'm telling you, it's got all of us, and we have to learn how to lean into it and use it for our strengths.
Oh my goodness. When I say I love me some Megan Marshall, I
love you back.
So, let me tell you something. You can't talk about Megan to me.
Okay. You can't say nothing about Jessica Lynn to me neither. So
you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Okay?
You know how you can talk about your brother, but can't nobody else talk about your brother.
That's right. You'll be a rearranger so you see Southside come out quick. Don't say nothing.
Right. We in this thing together. And so I am just excited, Megan. I am excited that you came on. Believe it or not, the hour has already gone. I told you it was going to go by fast.
Yes, you did. I'm like, so when we going to start the conversation? So yeah.
It's gone by fast, but I want to leave the door open for you to always come back. We can have you back again before August 2nd, hopefully, if that will work out. We can rerun this show. We can do what we need to do to get the word out. And of course we can come together personally and go live and do whatever we need to do. And I'd love to walk my district with you.
Oh, let's do it. I'd
love to walk my district with you so we can set that up and make it happen.
Okay.
Because this is what it takes. I want to lock hands with you and change the world.
Oh, let's do it, sis.
Amen. Well, you have been tuned into KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station, with Jessica Lynn Speaks Life. My powerhouse guest, Miss Megan Marshall, who is running for Jackson County Legislature, 3rd District at large. Vote, vote, vote. 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 So many have lost their lives, sacrificed their lives, sacrificed limbs and are still living, have sacrificed so much dignity, so much, so that we can have this right to vote. We are literally our ancestors' wildest dreams. Amen. So let's take advantage of this opportunity to vote a woman in who has done so much already for the community, broke glass ceilings in Lee Summit, and now she is going to be breaking barriers down, uniting us, for all of us to make America great. For all of us.
Right.
All right. Tuned in next Sunday after next. We're on the 1st and 3rd Sunday of the month, 5 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Megan, thank you.
Thank you for all you do. I love you.
You're welcome. I love you too. Everyone, please be blessed.